Good evening, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV, coming to you with more live coverage of the war in Iran, breaking news. Barack Ravid of Axios reports that the U.S. is carrying out new airstrikes in Iran. Again, Barack Ravid of Axios reports that the U.S. is carrying out new airstrikes in Iran. This would be the first time since Friday night. Barack Ravid says the U.S. military is conducting airstrikes in Iran. A U.S. official tells me. President Trump today said that the U.S. was going to hit Iran hard. And he actually told Fox News. He used some pretty graphic language with Fox News. After Iran last night fired 5 missiles at least at U.S. forces in Jordan, President Trump had said, I want to get the quote right, he told Trey Yingst, we're going to beat the effing S out of them, but he used the long words. And he said Iran was going to get a beating. Today he said, it's our turn. He says it's our turn to hit them. That's what he said today. So again, apparently this is going on now. I haven't heard much from Iran state media about explosions there. I will say that about a half an hour ago, Vahid online said he had people telling him from Iran that they had heard explosions in Nurabad, which is in Fars province. I mean, that's really the only thing I've really heard so far. I'll show you where that is, but we have not heard much about the nature of such strikes. But again, usually, I mean, I would say pretty much always when you see Barack Ravid post something like that, it ends up being true in terms of like him posting that strikes are underway. I expect to hear an announcement sometime soon from CENTCOM. Let me show you where Nurabad is. Again, so Vahid Online had gotten reports about it 40 minutes ago. Some people said they heard explosions in Nurabad, which is central, southwestern Iran, in Fars province, Nurabad. I don't, I can't confirm that there were strikes there, but some people told Vahid that they had heard explosions. So we're going to get you updated here. What's happening here? Oh, here we go. So let's keep an eye out and see what we hear. If indeed there are strikes, are they going to be more of the same that we were seeing the last couple weeks when it was 13 straight days? Something different? Don't know. Sign of the Times says it's very orderly that we take turns. No announcement yet. No announcement yet from CENTCOM. Now, remember, earlier today, a drone reportedly hit a U.S. gas storage tanker ship in Egypt. We talked about that earlier, in a port in Egypt. There's been no statement of taking of responsibility for that. But that happened earlier today. Also, overnight, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia, warplanes of the U.S. and Saudi Arabia attacked Iranian-backed forces in Iraq overnight. So that happened as well. So we'll have to see what happens. But again, Barack Ravid reports that the U.S. military is carrying out more strikes. What we haven't heard about much Hey, thanks to our moderators who are here. We have Ruth in Bite Mode are moderating right now. Thank you so much. And Haley Girl as well. Thank you. We have on Twitch moderating Idaho Star Matthew Kohai 3 and Flux Eternus. Mikam Via thinks it's gotta be big. Kay Lowry Body is over there on Facebook modding. Wait, are we on Facebook? Let's see. There we are. Thanks, Kay. Jennifer Ellers, thanks for subscribing. Dolly Clark, thanks for subscribing. Darren Charlo is moderating. Thank you. Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha moderate on X. So again, looking for some more updates. We have not actually heard of many strikes tonight. I mean, actually, there hasn't really been any mention in Iran state media of any strikes. As I mentioned, Vahid online on Telegram reported about 45 minutes ago, some people claimed there were some strikes in Nurabad. Some people in Iran claimed they heard explosions in Nurabad, but that's what they said. But nothing yet from Iranian state media. And of course, if the U.S. does indeed carry out strikes, you would expect Iran to launch retaliation strikes. Paolo Morianis says, waiting for CENTCOM. Yes, and Russia apparently has been launching some missiles and drones at Ukraine tonight. We're not going to really focus on that during this coverage. I'll keep an eye on it. Maybe I'll do some updates. But again, we're focusing on, for this broadcast, we're focusing on the Iran news. Oh, I'll check the oil market in a second. Our viewer PW360 claims that, I didn't see this myself. PW360 claims that Trey Inc. said regional sources were expecting fighting for days or weeks and that the U.S. has not responded to the Jordan attack but will at the time of their choosing. Oh, that was from yesterday. Sorry, PW360. I read your comment from yesterday. But yes, President Trump said today that the U.S. would be striking Iran soon. Again, nothing really have heard nothing from Iranian state media tonight about attacks. And they do report when there's explosions. Generally speaking, they do report that. So I have yet to hear tonight one peep in Iran state media about any reported explosions or anything, and very little outside of that. I follow some Middle Eastern accounts that they tend to post right away when they hear about stuff. I feel like maybe they sometimes post too soon because it turns out they're on strikes, and they haven't even posted about stuff tonight. So it doesn't look like anything too big has happened yet. Now, let's see. Hold on. Let me check something here. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Axios says doesn't say much in there. They say that the U.S., again, Barak Ravid reported with Axios that the U.S. started conducting strikes tonight. Axios says that these strikes tonight are in retaliation for the missiles launched at U.S. forces in Jordan yesterday. President Trump had said today that the U.S. would hit Iran very hard and said it's our turn. I don't remember if Trump specifically said tonight. I am checking some Iranian sources, keeping an eye on things. Not seeing anything too big right now. But I'll keep checking. It is currently, the time is 3:12 in Iran. It is currently 3:12 in Iran. I do need to pull this up. Where is the time thing? Give me a moment here. Where did that go? I'm going to pull up the clock thing. Okay, I got that on the screen there. That's good. Got that. Ooh. Hang on one moment. So to repeat, Axios is reporting, Barak Ravid of Axios, that the U.S. has begun strikes on Iran. First time since Friday. Not much about what's happened so far. Nothing in Iran media about strikes. So we're waiting to hear more. Larry Thomas says, I don't think this war is winnable without ground troops. Sammy Mammy asked if Iran is launching attacks tonight. I haven't heard about that. I don't know, though. But I haven't heard about it yet. So we're waiting to see what happens. Hey, a quick thanks. Christopher Severs. Yeah, I saw something about that, Christopher. Christopher said X disabled Tasnim, don't know about other state media. Yeah, I usually don't get Tasnim through X, but I guess I saw that the Tasnim Iran state media account, well, Joe Truzman had posted something about it. And Joe said that the Tasnim English language account. I don't know about their other accounts. He said several Tasnim accounts had been suspended by X. He thought the trigger was, I'll show you what Joe said. I don't know what caused this, but I'll show you what Joe said. Joe, who I follow, at Joe Truzman, he said that Tasnim News Agency's English language account and several of its other accounts had been suspended by X. He says, I suspect the trigger was Tasnim's recent publication of a video detailing vulnerabilities in Melania Trump's security and methods for killing the First Lady and her son. Now, I didn't see that video, but I also don't know. This could be a temporary suspension. I don't know. What's this? It doesn't say banned. It says suspended. Suspended, actually. It doesn't say banned. So anyways, if I hear more about that, I'll let you know. You can follow Joe at Joe Truzman. Hey, by the way, thanks to Christopher Severs for your support. I really appreciate that, Christopher. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thanks, Kitty Cat Putty Tat, for being a member. D. Smith, thanks for your support, D. Smith. Always chasing the rain. Thanks for the membership. Thanks, Lordoc from the UAE. Thanks so much, Lordoc. Also, the THX 1974, thanks for being a member. Brandy75, Chris D. Chris D says, how do you win a war that was never declared and has no goals? All we've done is drive up prices and get our soldiers killed. That's what Chris thinks. Thank you so much, Chris, for your support. Malibu Sky says, here we go again. Still no statement from CENTCOM. Trey Yink says reports indicate that the U.S. is now striking Iran. We'll have to see what we hear. While we wait to hear more, oh, I have a video. What's this? Oh, I have some video from Egypt today. This is interesting. Hey guys, hold on a moment here. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Well, it sort of is. Hang on. Hang on a moment. So in case you missed it, drone hits a U.S.-owned gas storage tanker at an Egyptian Mediterranean port. Ambry reports. We talked about this earlier today. A drone hit a U.S.-owned gas storage tanker, large ship, at Egypt's Mediterranean port of Damietta. Today, British maritime security firm Ambry said, in an initial assessment that could signal a further spread of conflict across the Middle East. A statement from Egypt's petroleum ministry confirmed a fire at the port, but made no mention of a drone attack and did not provide a cause for the incident. Port services firm Inchcape said in a separate message, two gas tankers had caught, these are large ships, gas tankers had caught fire at Damietta. The drone hit floating storage tanker Energos Winter, causing a fire that spread to another vessel, Gaslog Salem. 3 trading sources familiar with the incident said. 2 separate security sources said the likely cause of the blast was assessed as a drone strike. The Energos Winter was reportedly struck by an unidentified projectile on its starboard side, causing a fire that was extinguished, said British maritime risk management group Vanguard. It was unclear who was responsible for the incident, which occurred shortly after Iran carried out a missile attack against U.S. forces in Jordan, and Washington and Saudi Arabia struck Iran-backed paramilitary groups in Iraq. Through a video posted on social media, Reuters was able to verify the location by the port infrastructure, the storage tanks, and ship tracking data that matched the archive and satellite imagery. The identity of the vehicles was confirmed as Energos Winter and Gaslog Salem by the mast, stern, hull, and foredeck that matched archive imagery. The Energos Winter, which is the U.S.-owned ship that was hit, is a floating storage and regasification unit with storage capacity of 138,250 cubic meters. It is owned by U.S. firm Energos Infrastructure. Its technical safety and commercial operations are managed by Wilhelmsen Ship Management, also a U.S. company. Let me show you this video that Reuters posted with that story. I haven't seen this video yet, I don't think. Okay, look. A drone, here's the video from Reuters. A drone hit a U.S.-owned gas storage tanker at an Egyptian port, says a security firm. There's them pouring water on the ship. Hang on a moment here. So I think that's actually a really big story. Personally, if there are going to be more attacks in Egypt, also that attack was only about 30 miles from the northern entry to the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal runs, it's in Egypt, and some ships have been taking that route to avoid the Houthis at the other end of the Red Sea. So that's a key route. That could be a key. The Suez Canal could be the key alternate route out of the Red Sea for stuff that's getting shipped out of the Gulf, like oil, stuff and shipped out of the Gulf region, shipped out of the Middle East. So the fact to me that happened only around 30 miles from the north part of the Suez Canal makes me wonder if Suez Canal might be vulnerable to attacks. Let me just see if I have new reports on anything here. And also just, attacks moving to drone attacks now appearing in a different country after not being there. Seems escalatory. Could they happen in still other countries? Not seeing anything from Iranian media right now about new strikes. Nothing. Oh, I was going to mention the oil prices. Sorry. I'll talk about that for a second. We are at 88. Oh, no, actually, Brent crude is they're on break. It's not closed the whole night, but I think it's going to open back up maybe at 8. See, it's at close at 6. I think maybe it stays closed from 6 to 8. So in like 4 minutes, Brent will open back up. WTI crude is at 84.20, and it had gotten down to when about a month ago it had gotten down to lower than 68. Then it went back up to over 90 just about a week ago or so, now over 92. Then it went back down a couple days ago to, below 70, below 79, around 78, and now it's at 84. That's the 1 month chart. That's from tradingview.com, by the way. That's from TradingView. TradingView.com. Still nothing in Iranian media that I'm seeing about explosions in Iran. Nothing yet. Just to show you where that attack on the U.S. tanker ship in Egypt was today. Damietta Port, which is, there's Saudi Arabia, there's Iran, there's Strait of Hormuz, there's the Red Sea, there's Yemen, where the Houthis are in northern Yemen, there's Israel, there's Egypt, and it happened here, only about 30 miles from Port Said, the northern entry of the Suez Canal. So what's been happening is, if you remember here, so remember that hang on here. Iran has effectively, oops, I got to do this the right way. Let's see here. Iran has effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz. So you can't really ship, maybe you can sneak someone out of there once in a while, but you can't really ship stuff on the large scale out this way. So what Saudi Arabia has been doing is they've been sending stuff in a pipeline across the country, then shipping it out this way. But now the Houthis have put a blockade on Saudi Arabia on ships going to and from Saudi Arabia. The Houthis are down there. They've attacked a couple ships in the southern Red Sea. It's possible they could try to cut off the Bab al-Mandeb Strait here. So what Saudi Arabia what some Saudi ships have reportedly been doing, and what some other ships have reportedly been doing, is instead of going the south route, they go the north route through the Suez Canal, which is up through here. But my point about today's attack, which was close to Suez, is it was an attack up right, I don't know, around here or so today. That's where the drone attack was. So, I mean, there's only a limited number of ways you can get oil out and other goods out by water from this region. You can get it out through the Strait of Hormuz, but that's essentially blocked. You can get it out through the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, going through the Red Sea, but that might get blocked. There was also a story today from Reuters saying that the Houthis are considering charging a toll on every ship that goes through there. And then there's this, the Suez Canal. So there's been so much concern during this war that one of these routes is blocked off. But it seems like to me that there's certainly risk to the second route, and who knows, maybe the third route. So something to keep an eye on. Jimmy says Suez is a bottleneck. Yes, one of our viewers said Suez can't take the exact same ship. The fully laden VLCCs, very large crude carriers that Iran uses that Saudi Arabia uses to export a lot of its oil from Yanbu. They will not, if they're fully loaded, they will not go. They can't go through Suez. Suez isn't deep enough. But it's an option. I've seen some unconfirmed reports of there's a couple accounts that are Middle Eastern accounts. They're not Iran state media, and they're not big news organizations. They're claiming that there have been some attacks in Iran. Unconfirmed reports of attacks in Kish Island and Abadan. I don't know if any of those have actually happened. We'll see if any of them appear in Iran state media. So I would call those very unconfirmed reports right now. Kish Island has been attacked before. Abadan, I can't confirm there's an attack there. That's right near Kuwait in Iraq. Abadan Island here. Well, we're waiting to see what we hear. Will we see a post soon from CENTCOM? Give me 1 second here. Very interesting. Ali BK pointed this out. Ali BK, who I follow, pointed this out. Very interesting. Dammam Airport. There appears to be some sort of issue with Dammam Airport. Dammam Airport in Saudi Arabia, which is near Bahrain and Qatar. Planes are not going there. Planes seem to be diverting. That plane was going there, circled and turned around. That plane was going there, circled and turned around. That plane. That plane. That's 4 different planes that are supposed to be going and not landing there. Now that one, I don't know. I don't know if that's because there's, stuff being fired in the region. It's right near Bahrain and Qatar. Let's see here. Yeah, all these planes are supposed to be going to Dammam Airport. Give me a port. Give me a moment here. Planes appear to not be landing at Dammam Airport in Saudi Arabia. Give me a moment here. Ali BK. Ali, it's all right. All right, I'm seeing some other reports of possible explosions, so let's talk about this. Bear with me for 1 second. Yes. I'm seeing some other reporting here. Thanks for bearing with me for a second. Some unconfirmed reports. Again, unconfirmed reports of explosions in Abadan. I'm seeing some unconfirmed reports of explosions in Bushehr and Kish Island in Mohamara. It's weird though. I'm not seeing these reports from Iran media. I'm seeing it from some other accounts I follow that claim it's going on. Those are all unconfirmed right now. Vahid heard some explosions in Kish 5 minutes ago. Kish Island. Reports from Vahid of explosions heard on Kish Island, Iran. So we are starting to hear some reports of, oh, hold on a second. Vahid posted something else now. Bushehr. Vahid says that in the last few minutes, several explosions were heard in Bushehr. Now, by the way, a lot of these targets are sounding similar to the ones that we heard that were hit in the 13 straight nights. So I'll be interested in seeing, is it just a similar attack than the 13 straight nights were? That I don't know. I haven't seen any sign it's different. We'll have to see. So we've heard about Bushehr, which has been hit many times before in these previous strikes. Kish Island as well. Ali BK, who I follow, is claiming Bandar Abbas. We'll have to see what else we hear about that. Strangely, not much at all. And Vahid also says Bandar Abbas. Vahid just posted that he is getting word of explosions in Bandar Abbas. Right now, it's sounding like a lot of the same places that we were hearing for the 13 straight nights. A lot of the same things so far. But I don't know. I can't confirm the strikes have been similar in nature. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So we've heard about places like Bandar Abbas. Then Kish Island is, I have to remember, is it right over here? No, that's Larak Island. Which one is Kish? Kish is over here. Kish Island here, Bushehr, which is up here. Possibly Abadan Island, which is over here. Yeah, so Vahid says that some people reported 4 or 5 explosions in Bandar Abbas. Yeah, so far, nothing I have seen so far strongly distinguishes the strikes we're hearing about from the 13 nights of strikes that recently happened. Z-Line says, what are we hitting? That I don't know. Hey, thanks Johnny Appleseed for your support on Twitch. Also, White Wolf, thanks on Twitch for subscribing. I appreciate it. Also, Terry Ragone, thanks for being a member. VF90, thanks for being a member. Oh, what's her name? Thanks for your support. Oh, what's her name? Thinks that diplomacy is the only thing that will start to resolve this. Vance needs to take over. Thank you, Tundra Jason, for your support. Thanks, Tundra Jason. Also, user KR4. Thank you, user KR4, for your support. Oh, what's her name says, will $10 gas be enough to get Americans mad enough to demand impeachment? Well, we're not at $10 gas yet. Thank you, Frosted X Flames. I've seen a couple people say that. I am not going to. So Frosted X Flames and some other folks have been saying that Barack Ravid said the U.S. Or that somebody said the army is attacking. Was that like a bad translation? or something? Because his English language says U.S. military. Yeah, so the English language says U.S. military. I'm seeing that if you that the X translated it from Hebrew as senior U.S. official, U.S. Army is attacking. I would not read into the word army. I, First of all, he didn't use that in his English language post. Second of all, that's a word a lot of people use very generally. I wouldn't read into that, oh my gosh, it's a whole different branch of the U.S. military. I don't think that's the case. I've heard nothing to suggest that any kind of different branch of the U.S. military that wasn't already involved before is doing the strikes. Unconfirmed report of explosion or explosions in Keshem. That's unconfirmed. That would be a target that's been hit many times before. Yeah, I am seeing a couple of accounts I follow claim a bunch of explosions on Keshem Island, which, that would be one of the standard targets. There are unconfirmed reports of missiles launched from Kuwait, which I assume would be U.S. missiles that the U.S. is launching from Kuwait at Iranian targets. I can't confirm that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Eddie Spaghetti thinks we're hitting the wrong targets. It is interesting, though, that nothing, well, it sometimes takes them longer. Nothing in Iran state media yet. Shin claims there have been explosions on Keshem. We're waiting to hear more, but it does appear that U.S. strikes are underway. But still, nothing yet from Iran state media. There's some videos floating around that claim to show missiles being fired from Kuwait, which would presumably be, again, presumably that would be U.S. missiles fired at Iran from Kuwait. Yeah, no CENTCOM statement yet. I'm expecting one of those soon. Angie C226 says it's a ceasefire war. Regarding the airport, planes seem to be landing at Dammam Airport now. Look, okay, looks like planes are actually heading towards Dammam Airport again. See that? I don't know about these. They might have. Anyways, these two planes really do seem to. Well, yeah, those planes certainly now seem to be heading towards Dammam Airport. Hang on, let me just. I want to post this. Looks like planes are heading toward Dammam Airport in Saudi Arabia again. Now, again, a bunch of unconfirmed reports about explosions in different parts of Iran. Kind of odd. Nothing yet from Iranian state media. I've seen reports of explosions in Abadan Island, Bushehr, Kish, Keshem, Bandar Abbas, and other locations as well. What I need to do is I need to take about 1 minute. We're giving you live coverage here. I need about 1 minute. No announcement from SETCOM. 3:54 currently a.m. Iran time. All right, give me 1 minute. I'm going to disappear for 1 minute. I'm coming right back. Thank you for your patience. Let's see what other reports we have now. I have yet to see any reports. Hold on. Did CENTCOM post? CENTCOM posted. CENTCOM just posted. Breaking news. We have official announcement from CENTCOM. Breaking news. U.S. forces have begun launching strikes against Iran at 8 p.m. today, Eastern Time. These strikes are a powerful response to yesterday's attempted Iranian attacks on the U.S. forces based in the Middle East. So they say they are retaliating. It's a powerful response to yesterday's attempted Iranian attacks on U.S. forces. So the stopping of the fighting of the strikes lasted about 5 days. Vader thinks these strikes don't seem to make a difference. Michael S. says dawn raid on Keshem. I haven't heard about anything like that. Austin Batman says powerful is relative. I don't even know at this point if this even moves the oil markets at all. I mean, there were 13 straight nights of strikes just recently. So I really don't know that this really moves the oil market. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, Brent crude, it was closed for a couple hours, but yeah, Brent crude is at 87.60. I mean, it's where it was for a lot of today, generally. That's a 5-day chart right there from TradingView. But yeah, I don't see any super big move based on the last few minutes. We'll see. So again, CENTCOM does confirm that they are conducting strikes in response to Iran firing missiles yesterday at the U.S. We are waiting to find out more about these ongoing strikes. And are we going to get the pretty standard Iranian response where they fire some missiles and drones at places like Kuwait and Bahrain and Jordan? Saw DiCaprio thinks it's another tit for tat. Mr. Bigley Incredible says not much else they can do, right? Well, no, I mean, look, if you're Saudi Arabia, both the U.S. and Saudi Arabia could choose much different targets, more sensitive targets. But I've seen no sign that what's going on so far tonight was different for the most part from the last 13 weeks. But you don't know. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you know what I'm hearing. Shaq Nagy says, what happened to hitting them big, huh? It is 4:01 a.m. right now, Iran time. If you're wondering, sunrise in Tehran is 5:11. Bandar Abbas 5:08. OSINT Technical says reports of a major fire in Abadan tonight after an American airstrike. I can't confirm that. I mean, it certainly could be true. Abadan is near the Persian Gulf, near Kuwait as well. Abadan. Abadan looks like it's right next to Kuwait. No, right next to Iraq. I'm sorry, right next to Iraq. That's Kuwait, right near Kuwait, right next to Iraq. Abadan. I will say we've heard about attacks before in Karamshar, and Karamshar is right near Abadan. Our viewer Bumble thinks, if I can find a comment. Bumble said something like nobody has the appetite for the strategic targets. Amber Dog says doing the same thing over and over and getting negative results is the definition of insanity. In case you missed it, the U.S. confirmed it is launching strikes on Iran to retaliate for the Iranian missile firing at the U.S. yesterday, at U.S. troops in Jordan yesterday. Where is this? I didn't see this myself, but Al Jazeera claimed that Iranian TV said, I didn't see it on Iranian TV, but where was I here? I can't remember what I was reading. Oh, Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera said that, or claimed that Iranian TV said there were explosions on Kish Island and also Abu Musa. That's another island in the Persian Gulf. Excuse me. Hey, thanks by the way to Saint Max Boss. Yeah, Saint Max, we talked about that already on the stream. Thank you, Saint Max. I appreciate that. Thank you. Also, Ed Navas. Ed says Ukraine has evidence that Russia has been helping Iran with satellite surveillance of U.S. bases, while U.S. is helping Russia by lifting sanctions. Yeah, we talked about those Ukraine allegations, I think, days ago. That was something that came out. I think Zelensky talked about that days ago. President Trump was asked about it, maybe while we were covering him sometime in the last couple of days. Thank you, Ed Navas. I appreciate it. Black Hawk Command, thanks for being a member, Black Hawk. I appreciate it. I can't find it. We had talked about the whole Zelensky and Ukraine and Iran stuff a few days ago. I was maybe I can look for it later. I was trying to just find his post on it right now, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. Anyways, I hope I got that report about Iran right. That's what I thought I remembered, but I can't find it right now. So I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. But if I get more later, I'll talk about it. Yes, 4 days ago, CBS News, Zelensky accuses Russia of assisting Iran with satellite imagery of U.S. bases in Middle East. Okay, anyways, let's get some more updates here. Let's see. I still have seen nothing in Iranian state media, nothing of about any. It's interesting because there's been a lot of other accounts claiming strikes in Iran and like Vahid, who gets report from Iran, but so far nothing in Iranian state media. They normally post about explosions, and I have not seen a single one posted about in Iran state media. Again, which is very interesting. Barack Ravid says President Trump met on Wednesday with the Saudi Minister of Defense. The Saudi minister gave Trump a message from the Saudi Crown Prince about the war with Iran and the regional escalation. That's according to Barack Ravid. Barack Ravid also reports that the Saudi defense minister told Vice President Vance today at the White House that Saudi Arabia still favors de-escalation with Iran. Okay? So reportedly, again, the Saudi defense minister told Vice President Vance today that Saudi Arabia wants de-escalation. B. Earhart says it's not their call. Yep, just looking at different sources here again. I have seen nothing so far to suggest that what's going on tonight is much different than what happened on average during the 13 straight nights of U.S. attacks on Iran recently. Haven't seen anything particularly different. Reports of possible fire in Abadan, Iran, as I mentioned. Ali BK posted a couple videos he claims are videos of Abadan strikes. I can't confirm that, but I posted a link in the chat. Jim Sween thinks Iran retaliation is coming. PW360 says, is there a chance there is a this is a symbolic attack and the real one comes after market on Friday? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're 5 months into the war at this point. So is there going to be a real one? I have no idea. But at this point, I mean, there's been so many threats of big attacks that, I mean, not that it couldn't happen, but I mean, we heard a lot of threats. So personally, I'll believe there's going to be some huge, much greater attack than has happened the last few months when I actually see it. Not to say it couldn't happen, but, you know, at this point, it's been a long time that it hadn't happened for us, so. Yeah, and just to clarify, what he's asking about is some kind of escalated attack. I mean, these attacks obviously involve, you know, missiles that can kill people. So not to minimize them, but, you know, strategically, it doesn't seem like the attacks that have been going on for weeks are designed to really escalate things. Hey, Black Hawk Command, that's so generous of you. Wow, that's really nice of you. Thank you so much for your support, Black Hawk Command. Black Hawk Command has given so many memberships to viewers as well. Very kind of you. Thanks for your note and thanks for your support of the channel. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. Marcanis says, I don't think there will be any major attacks anytime soon. It's all just smaller ones like we've been seeing. Oh, and also I got to thank Louis R. Guys, 50 of you in the YouTube chat, 50 of you just got memberships from Louis R., who also has given so many memberships to our viewers. So nice of you, Louis, and so generous. Please thank Louis R. if you just got a membership. Look at all those new members. $50 memberships from Louis R. Thank you so much, Louis R., for all your support for the channel. Very kind of you. Thank you. Thanks for shouting out Louis in the chat. We have, I think this is the first, I believe this is the first confirmation from Iran state media of attacks tonight. I hadn't seen it yet. Look at the bottom. Enemy attack on areas around Keshem. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's try this again. Enemy attack on areas around Keshem. Nafisi, the deputy head of the Political Security and Social Affairs Department of the Hormozgan Governorate, announced about 4:20 a.m. No, about 4 o'clock, about 4 a.m. 4:20 is the current time. I just looked at the clock. 4:20 a.m. is the current time. At 4 a.m., points around Keshem were attacked by the American enemy military, and the completion report will be announced later after initial assessments. So Iran state media does confirm U.S. attacks in Keshem. So we do have confirmation of some U.S. strikes. We've been hearing a lot of reports about them. Now, this actually is interesting. This is from Tasnim state media. They say Tasnim reporters report from Keshem. 3:50, about a half hour ago in the morning, 3 explosions were heard on Keshem Island. These explosions were inside the city. According to some residents, a missile hit a residential area, but there is no information yet on the number of casualties, something to keep an eye on. Now, Keshem is here. There's the Strait of Hormuz. Keshem is here. There are some more densely populated places on the island. Maybe Keshem City was hit? I don't know. Right there? They didn't say which city. Ali BK claims some new explosions were heard in Bushehr. That I cannot confirm. Let's see. I am checking for other updates here. We also have a report from Iran's Press TV, where they are now saying that several areas around the city of Abadan in southwestern Iran have come under U.S. missile strikes. We've been hearing about explosions in the area of Abadan, but now we have Iranian state TV saying that. Also, Press TV says explosions heard in several southern locations in Iran. So again, explosions in Keshem reported from Iran state media. Iran state media, IRIB, they say that deputy governor in Hormozgan governorate, the Hormozgan's a region in southern Iran, says Nothing in Sirik County. Also, state TV says explosion heard in Keshem minutes ago and explosion heard in Bushehr. To repeat, it's a lot of these similar, same locations we've heard of in past weeks being hit. Oops, what I have to do is do this. Hang on, there we go. Keshem Island, Bandar Abbas, Kish. Oh, sorry, it's not Kish. That's the wrong. Where's Kish? Kish here? No, Kish. Kish is over here. Kish. Bushehr over here. There's Bushehr. Abadan. What did I do? There's Abadan right there. Abadan. Hey, thanks, Jeff T88. Jeff, some viewers have mentioned the Fauci thing. I just haven't had time to cover it, honestly. It's the same thing with Ukraine. We've been covering a lot of this today. We were covering the the Treasury, the Fed, not Treasury, the Fed rates thing. So I'm just sorry. I just haven't had enough time to cover it. There's just too much going on. But thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know some viewers asked about it and I couldn't get to it, but there's just one of me, so we gotta keep the focus on certain things. Thank you, Jeff T88 PFCR. I really appreciate that. Also, Snick Snackin'. That's very kind of you, Snick Snackin'. Thank you. Also, Art Brown, our member, least trustworthy weasel. Thank you. Yeah, I just haven't seen or heard anything tonight that is anything really different than what we've seen many times before. The incident earlier today where a drone in Egypt hit a U.S. owned tanker. Now that's something where it's different. I mean, that we haven't heard about any kind of explosions in Egypt during the war. I don't remember. And a drone attacking a U.S. owned ship 30 miles from the northern entrance of the Suez Canal. That seems like something's different. Maybe there could be more going on there. You know, you could imagine a world in which strikes in Egypt start having a significant impact on the world economy, for example. And right now, at least with this, I haven't seen anything yet that's much different. Remember, the quote from President Trump to Fox News earlier today was, "We're going to beat the effing S out of them." And he said the words, not just effing and S. He said he warned Iran was going to get a beating. And that was, according to Trey Yinks, that's when he asked Trump about if the U.S. would respond to the missile attack, which is what they are responding to the missile attack tonight. But again, so far, not aware of something very different, but we'll have to see. B. Earhart says we're waiting for it. Sandy Lucas says, how many times have we heard that? Mayor News, Iran State Media says an explosion was heard in Keshem. Also a airstrike. No, sorry, explosion heard in Bushehr and an airstrike near Keshem. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, the deputy governor of Khuzestan said areas around the city of Abadan were attacked by missiles from the terrorist enemy of America. I would not be surprised. It's about 4:33 a.m. Iran time, so about a half an hour till sunrise. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in a half an hour, we heard about a few more cities hit, and then in a half an hour, the U.S. says, that's it, we hit them, and we're going to keep, the blockade is still going strong, and we will hit them strong if they continue attacking or whatever. I did not hear any State Department statements today about Egypt. Doesn't mean there was one. I didn't see one, Mordor Blues. Mayor West says we've been doing this too long. So far, no word yet that any kind of like bridges or anything has been hit. Here's an update from Tasnim. Tasnim says explosion heard in Kazerun. A Tasnim reporter from Fars province says an area around the city of Kazerun has been targeted by the American enemy. Additional news will be announced later. There is Kazerun. Oops, you'll see it in a second. Fars province. I do not know what was targeted in the vicinity of Kazerun. Pete Weymouth says power plant. I have not heard about any power plants being hit tonight. Kish Island. Another thing is what happens sometimes with these reports. So you're seeing here, Fars says a few minutes ago the sound of several explosions was heard in Kish. That actually could have been like 45 minutes ago. Sometimes the channels, the different Iran state media outlets can report that stuff at different times, and it can end up being at the same time. So I wouldn't assume that's brand new. Wall Street thinks they hit so many targets the first week they have no more targets. Sean thinks Iran will not stop. Hey, really quick, what I'm going to do, I just need to take, I apologize. Give me 1 more minute. I'm going to be back in 1 minute. We're bringing you live coverage as the U.S. launches strikes on Iran again. Okay, I am back. Sorry for the delay. It is 4:38 Iran time. Daylight in about sunrise in about half an hour. Vahid says, Vahid online, he says about in the last 3 minutes, some 2 explosions in Bandar Abbas, 2 large explosions in Bandar Abbas, according to Vahid. He also said 2 explosions heard in Keshem, although Keshem is not far from Bandar Abbas. It's possible that somebody is hearing explosions, the same explosion in both places. Anyways, a number of people just a few minutes ago, 3 minutes ago or so, said to Vahid that they had heard 2 loud explosions in Bandar Abbas. This is something different. This is different. Now, I don't know if this is true. This is a bit of a different kind of report that I'm about to show you right now. IRNA, Iranian state media, claims an enemy attack on a residential house on Keshem Island. Search operation continues to find 2 people under the rubble. I don't know what this is about. The Deputy Political Security and Social Affairs Officer of the Hormozgan Governor's Office announced the enemy's attack on a residential house in the Cha Tango neighborhood of Keshem City and said rescue teams are searching for 2 people trapped under the rubble. The local official noted additional details of this incident and the status of the trapped people will be announced after the end of the rescue operations and field assessments. Iranian local government is claiming a residential house was attacked by the U.S. A residential house on Keshem Island in Keshem City on Keshem Island was attacked by the U.S. and they say rescue teams are searching for, they claim, rescue teams are searching for 2 people trapped under the rubble. These claims are unconfirmed. So Iranian local government is claiming a residential house in Keshem City on Keshem Island was attacked by the U.S. and rescue teams are searching for two people trapped under the rubble. I cannot verify that claim. I will say that's not the kind of claim you usually see from the state media. It's not like every time the U.S. attacks, they make that kind of claim. I actually, once in a while, they might claim that there's been an attack in a residential area or something. And once in a while, they'll claim there are civilian casualties. When the U.S. struck some bridges for a couple nights, in Iran during those 13 straight nights. In those incidents, I believe they claimed civilian casualties. But it's not that common. So now I don't know what happened here. Maybe there is no such house, or if a house was hit, maybe it was an accident, or maybe it was some kind of targeted strike for whatever reason by the U.S. That I don't know. Michael says very peculiar. Yeah, but just so you're aware, it's not like every time U.S. attacks Iran, they say, oh, they hit a house. We don't usually see this kind of claim particularly. So anyways, I'll let you know what more we hear about that. See if I can find that neighborhood on a map. Cha Tango is the eastern part of Keshem City. Let me show you where the neighborhood that Iran local government is saying was attacked, where a house was attacked in Keshem City, would be, there's Keshem. So we got to zoom into Keshem City. I don't know if it says it there. They said Cha Tango. Yeah, again, Gemini says it's... Hold on. But that is Keshem City there at the end of the island. Oh, Imam Hussein Street or... Or Finis. Oh. See if this works. Ah. That might be it. I'm not sure. Is that the area of it? Anyways, I'm not sure where this neighborhood is, but it's in Keshem City, which is here. It is also, okay, here's an update. A couple updates from Mehr News Iran, Mehr State Media. Right on the top there, it says missile attack on areas around Shahdagan City. Deputy Governor of Khuzestan says areas around the city of Shahdagan were attacked by missiles by the Terrorist Army of America. Shahdagan. Oopsie. Shahdagan, Iran. In Khuzestan province. Khuzestan province is targeted a lot by the U.S. Shahdagan is here. somewhere in that area was hit by missiles, according to areas around the city were hit by missiles, according to Iran. Also, here's this other one. So Iran state media mayor also talks about also talks about the house in Keshem. Enemy attack on a residential house in the Cha Tangvi neighborhood of Keshem. Deputy Governor of Hormozgan. Search operations are continuing. They say to find, now it says to find 3 people from under the rubble. I don't know which is, maybe the 2 reports came out at different times. One said they're looking for 2 people under the rubble there. The other report says 3 people under the rubble. I even see it on Houthi media. Houthi media, Ansar Allah. Houthi media says Iranian TV says rescue teams are searching for 2 people trapped under the rubble of a house on Keshem Island. About 5 minutes ago, Vahid said that he got reports of another explosion in Bandar Abbas. Yeah, so FJ, who I follow, he's wondering if he thinks maybe somebody was targeted, right? As I mentioned with this report of the house that was hit, I said, well, maybe there was no such house. Maybe it was an accident, or maybe the U.S. was really targeting a house. FJ says, let's see who got targeted here. So it is possible that the U.S. was targeting somebody in particular. That I can't say. Hold on a second. I just saw something. Where is that coming from? I've seen some videos posted tonight that claim that the U.S. has fired HIMARS rockets, HIMARS missiles from Kuwait at Iran tonight. I don't know. I can't confirm that. Here's something about HIMARS. Wikipedia, HIMARS is a multiple rocket launcher developed in the late 1990s for the U.S. and mounted on a standard U.S. Army family of medium tactical vehicles. Carries 1 pod with either 6 guided multiple launch rockets or 1 Army tactical missile system missile. Oh, okay. I don't know if that's any kind of new thing, or maybe those have been used constantly. Shin claims that there were 2 more huge blasts in Avaz right now. Word Shut Your Mouth says, 2B1s have just passed over me at 2 a.m. UK time. That's not normal. So look, I get, I see these comments. It could be something, it could not be something. I feel like many days I see stuff posted and I get sent stuff about like, report that bombers are taking off from the UK. And it seems like pretty much all the times I've sent those before, nothing happens after that. Not to say nothing will happen, but just to be clear, I see those kind of reports a lot. I can't myself, I do not have the necessary background to really intelligently analyze them. But I will let you know. Thanks for writing in. I'll let you know if we hear anything in Iran. Do we talk about Kazarin? There were some reports in Iranian media like Press TV that the U.S. had attacked near there. Hang on. Kazarin is in Fars province. I think we probably talked about Kazarin earlier. Anyway, Kazarin is there. So we've heard about U.S. strikes in a number of Iranian locations. It doesn't, at the moment, nothing I've seen that we haven't heard about targets being hit other than like non-military. We had one report of a house being hit. Aside from that, though, nothing like bridges or anything so far. And most of these locations are locations that we've heard about the U.S. targeting on previous nights. GoEvgo thinks the IRGC is taking a beating tonight. Thanks to Jennifer Taylor for being a member. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks to Art Brown for being a member. If I didn't thank you before. Hey, by the way, I do want to thank our moderators. I really appreciate our moderators being here and moderating the chats. Let me just for a moment pull something up here. Ruth and Robert's May Queen over there on YouTube. Thank you. By the way, I think I owe Charles Martinez a thank you. Charles Martinez, did I ever thank you for the memberships? I don't think I did. Thank you, Charles Martinez. Thank you so much. It's really nice of you. I owe a couple people thank yous. Hold on. Let me thank the mods first. Robert's May Queen and Ruth, thank you for modding. Thank you so much to Big Ball of Yarn, Idaho Star, Matthew Kohai, 3 Sarah, and Flux Eternus. Big thanks. Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X, K. Larry Body, Darren Charlo, Paul Anderson on Facebook. Also thanks to Steffi481, who said you reported Saudi Arabia publicly said they still support Iran. I reported no such thing. I never reported that Saudi Arabia publicly said they still support Iran. The story I reported on this stream, I didn't report on it. I told you what somebody else was reporting. I said that Axios said that Saudi Arabia's defense minister told the vice president of the U.S. today that they still wanted de-escalation. That's not a report that Saudi Arabia supports Iran. Just want to clarify here. Anyways, Steffi says the Arabic tendency towards duplicity is famous, says Steffi. Steffi thinks what Saudi Arabia says publicly is usually not what they say privately. Yeah, so look, I think it's certainly something to keep in mind that if you hear about some public position that one of these countries took, it could be different than their private position. Thank you, Steffi481. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Also, Brendan JDG. Thanks for being a member. Crappy J1127. Thanks for being a member. Jennifer Taylor. Thanks for being a member. Update. Tasnim says that there have been strikes. We've heard this elsewhere too tonight. Strikes areas around the city of Avaz. A local deputy minister in Khuzestan Governorate says areas around the city of Avaz were attacked by missiles by the terrorist enemy of America. According to a Tasnim correspondent in Avaz, electricity has been cut off in parts of the city following this attack. That doesn't mean that there was intentionally electrical equipment hit, but that is something to note. Oh, electricity in Keshem City becomes stable. The temporary power outage in Keshem was caused by a missile hitting the network, which was resolved with the efforts of the city's electricity forces. All electricity forces in Keshem City are now on full alert. At 3:40 a.m. today, which would be about over an hour ago, American fighter jets flying over Keshem fired several missiles at different parts of the island. All right, so I got to just post this here. Iran State Media Tasnim. Electricity is out in some parts of Avaz, Iran, after a U.S. missile attack. Also, electricity had gone out earlier tonight in Keshem City. Oh, I'll just post this quote here. Hold on a second. Also, intermittent power outages in Keshem were caused by a missile strike on the power grid. They say a missile strike on the power grid. Again, I don't know if that was intentional, if that indeed happened, which has been resolved thanks to the efforts of the county's electricity personnel. Oh, this doesn't say. Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on. I gotta just. So we have power outages in some parts of Avaz. After a U.S. missile attack. Also, intermittent power outages in Keshem were caused by a missile strike on the power grid, which has been resolved thanks to the efforts of the county's electricity personnel. Fars News reports, Fars state media Iran reports enemy attack on resident. They say this this is another Iran state media outlet reports that a house has been attacked. A residential house in the Cha Tangvi neighborhood of Keshem has been attacked, and the deputy governor says search operations are continuing to find 3 people, they say, under the rubble. They also say that points around Avaz were targeted by attacks from the American enemy. Points around Avaz were targeted by missile attacks by the American enemy. Well, we're certainly going to see Iran retaliate for these attacks. I think that's pretty obvious. Oh, also Vahid posted and said that about 10 minutes ago, a number of explosions, roughly 4 or so, were heard in the Avaz area. 4 or 5 explosions about 10 minutes ago were heard in the Avaz area, according to Vahid, his sources. And Avaz that's going to be up here, right? There's the Persian Gulf. Isn't it up here somewhere? Is it more north? I thought it was up around here. There it is right there. Yes, Avaz. I don't know what was hit in that area. Now, Avaz itself is over 1.3 million people in the metropolitan area, but I don't know what was hit. A new report of an attack. I just saw it right now. Look, this is from Fars State Media. Missile attack on points around Arvind Kanar City. Arvind Kanar City. Areas around the city of Arvind Kanar were attacked by missiles by the Terrorist Army of America. Sorry here. Hang on a moment here. Hang on a moment. Sorry, it's supposed to be off. Arvind Kanar City. I found it. Here is there's Arvind Kanar City. Where is that? There's Arvind Kanar City Park. There is an Arvind Kanar. That seems like it's right near Iraq. Arvind Kanar. There it is. Arvind Kanar it looks like it's right near the Iraqi border. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm looking at. Arvind Kanar is a city in Khuzestan province, and it says it's there, which is right near the border, if I'm reading that right, of Iraq. Erna says well, we already read this report, that the temporary power outage in Keshem has been resolved. This is kind of an odd report because we heard about multiple explosions reported in Bandar Abbas. I don't remember. I thought maybe even Vahid said that he had gotten reports of it. The deputy head of Political Security and Social Affairs Department of the Hormozgan Governorate denied rumors spread on social media and said no enemy aggression, explosion, or incident has occurred in the cities of Bandar Abbas or Sirik. There were a lot of reports about Bandar Abbas. Yeah, I mean, Vahid reported that people heard explosions there. Although what might have happened is people could have been in Bandar Abbas and heard about explosions, heard explosions in Keshem. I think we've seen that kind of thing before, where Bandar Abbas and Keshem are not far away. I mean, you're talking about 12 miles or so. So it's possible that maybe the explosions reported in Bandar Abbas were explosions people were hearing that were actually in Keshem or something. Oh, update about this supposed U.S. strike on a residential area in Keshem Island. Tasnim says, injured from attack on residential area in Keshem Island, transported to hospital. 2 of the injured individuals from the cowardly attack by the U.S. terrorist army on a residential area in Keshem Island have been transported to the hospital. The removal of debris from the affected area is still ongoing. Our viewer Jill Morgan says, will all of this Iran stuff be done by the midterms in November? Beats me. Erib said 9 minutes ago, Erib reported that State TV 9 minutes ago said the sound of a terrible fire in the city of Avaz right now. I think when they say the sound of a terrible fire, I think they were meaning, because there were reports of explosions there. I think that's what they're talking about. I am checking here for updates. It is, by the way, 5:11 a.m. Iran time. Normally, the U.S. doesn't really do these strikes during the daylight. And I think it's already sunrise in Bandar Abbas and Tehran. I would not be surprised if soon we hear from the US that they're done with the strikes for the night. That guy says, so nothing major today. It's too early to tell. To repeat, I mean, it certainly seems like a bunch of cities have been hit. Many of them are ones that we've heard about the U.S. attacking before. Really nothing yet in Iran. No claims that any like significantly more sensitive targets have been hit, like bridges or power plants or anything like that. Now Tasnim is showing. I was thinking that if a house actually got hit, they would probably try to, you know, make publicity out of it and show like maybe the rescue mission or whatever. So Tasnim State Media is showing what they say is a rescue mission to, hold on, what do they say? They say search and rescue to save people trapped under debris. Let me show you a screenshot here. Again, this is from Tasnim. This is Iranian state media, Tasnim News. And they took a video and see it's like rubble and people, there's people digging in the rubble. And they're saying that this is in Keshem, right? See that? That is from Tasnim News. They say it's search and rescue operations. Here, I'll show you what they said. Search and rescue operations underway to save people trapped under debris, they claim. Following a missile strike on a residential building in Keshem, search and rescue operations have been launched to save trapped people under the rubble. 2 injured individuals from the attack have been transported to the hospital by rescue teams, and efforts to locate people trapped under the rubble, the debris, are ongoing. This is their claim. Then they also posted this. Again, this is from Tasnim State Media Iran. Oopsie. Showing people digging in the rubble. No, I don't have a live feed from them. Thank you, Tarat. Tarrat. Thank you, Tarat. And we'll keep bringing you live updates here. Give me a moment. Well, if there are people under the rubble, I hope they are survived and they can get them. Hoagie Roll says that didn't look like a military target to me. Again, I cannot confirm that a house was hit. Could be an accident. Could be an intentional target for whatever reason. We'll have to see what we learn. Thank you so much to Dave Katz. Why don't your reports include if the U.S. strikes describing secondary explosion, which indicates a good target. Once in a while, I hear a report from Iran of secondary explosions or from another country. I'll say it if I'm not reporting that stuff. I don't hear it that frequently. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but I don't hear it that frequently. I'll let you know if I hear anything about it. Once in a while, we're covering something in the region and we hear those kind of reports. Thanks to David James. David thinks that B1s left UK on a 3-hour training exercise. That's what David thinks. Thank you, David. Also, Bad AX23. I appreciate your support, Bad AX23. Thank you. Also, Drethbane or Dreethbane. Thank you so much for the memberships. Dreethbane gave 10 memberships. Please thank Dreethbane if you got a membership from him. Thank you, Dreethbane. Very nice of you. Also, Heliodorus. Thank you so much, Heliodorus. That's really kind of you. Thanks for your note. And thanks Heliodorus04 for supporting the channel. Very nice of you. I appreciate that. Thanks. Also, Yumi Bong Bong, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. Kendra Fox, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. Johnny Appleseed, thanks for your support on Twitch. Shout out to our Twitch subscribers, people like Justin D. Winters, Nummy Yummy, Ehawk MPA, My Mind Spray, Susan CHF, Glueman, N. Dot, Big Dog Gaming, Flux Eternus, Steve God, Justin Winters, Sandy Doggo, Matthew Kohai 3, thanks for being a member. Sarah, Susan CHF, My Mind Spray. Thank you. All of our Twitch subscribers. Shin, who I follow, says he thinks whatever they hit in a vase that was hit badly, blasts were extremely strong, like seriously. There's been some reporting suggesting some strong attacks in a vase area tonight. I haven't heard about new attacks the last few minutes. Again, it is sunrise, if not in all of Iran, a bunch of Iran right now. So I do wonder if we might not very soon hear from CENTCOM that the attacks are done. Inner Circle, our viewer thinks the U.S. is opening up a can of whoop-ass tonight. Misfits Studios said there were 2 B-1 bombers confirmed on their way from UK because they met up with refueling tankers. That's what Misfits Studio said. Again, I'll just say this again. I have so many times on so many different days and nights over the recent weeks and months seen these claims online that bombers have taken off from the UK and they're headed for Iran, and then I never hear anything more about it. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't have any kind of background that allows me to intelligently assess those claims. And I have seen similar claims. So I'll just have to see. But I see those a lot. PW360 says Netanyahu is still in the U.S. Is that true? Did he not go back yet? I don't even know. He was, no, he was here for the funeral. Did he not go? I don't know. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing research into this, but I'm not aware of whether he went back or not yet. Excuse me. Bill said to me before, maybe the U.S. are targeting Iranian state media when they were not. Well, we've heard from them. We ended up hearing from them plenty. So I haven't heard anything about that. Thank you, Bill, for writing in. Thank you, Bill, for writing in. Hang on a moment here. Shin claims there was another blast in Avaz. At the moment, I'm not seeing anything new in state media. I would think it's pretty much daylight everywhere in Iran at this point. So we'll see what we hear. One of our viewers in the chat said Russian attack on Poland. I'm going to guess that maybe that's not the best description of the story. We'll see. Now, I do see some reports online in our chat that say possibly a Russian missile was detected in Polish airspace. That doesn't mean it's a Russian attack on Poland, just to be clear, but we'll see. Didn't we cover months ago when a Russian drone or drones landed in Poland or were shot down or something? Yeah, I would be shocked if Russia is just blatantly attacking Poland. So, what I wouldn't be shocked about is maybe there's a missile, it flies over Polish airspace, and Russia's like, oh, there was a problem with the missile, you know, and then you're not sure, was it really a problem or was it intentional? Are they sending a message? Those kind of things can happen. So there was an article in the Telegraph like a month ago that claimed that Russia was going to stir up some provocations with Poland. But again, what I don't think is going to happen is just Russia's going to fire a bunch of missiles at Polish cities. So whatever's happening, I don't think it's that. But we'll have to see. I'll keep an eye out and see what gets reported. One of our viewers, Kulf, flew by, said they were sending drones into Romania several times. Oh, did Poland's Air Force might have even said something about it. Hold on. Hang on. Yeah, right here. What does it say? This is the Poland Air Force here. They posted about an hour and a half ago. They said, due to the activity of the Russian Federation's long-range aviation, which is carrying out strikes on the territory of Ukraine, military aviation operations have commenced in Polish airspace, which I think might be sort of maybe standard like when Russia is attacking Ukraine. In accordance with the applicable procedures, the operational command of the armed forces has activated the necessary forces and resources at its disposal. Fine. These are actions of preventative nature. All right, so there's no statement about it specifically there. That's preventative. But I'll let you know what I hear. Intel Doge, who I follow, claimed it looks like air raid sirens are going off in Lublin, Poland. He says not the first time this has happened. He thinks it's Russian drones. I can't confirm that air raid sirens are going off there, but there are some reports online claiming they are. Yeah, GMI, who I follow, says air raid sirens are reportedly sounding in Lublin, Poland, likely as a precautionary measure as Russia continues long-range missile and drone strikes against targets across Ukraine. I'll let you know what I hear. Again, I would be utterly shocked if Russia just out of the blue is just firing missiles at Poland. I don't think that's what's happening. But maybe there's some sort of thing going on where they claim it was a mistake, or they claim we didn't fire it or something went off course, and something actually goes into Polish airspace. We'll see. Lublin is in Poland, and it is there. So there's Western Ukraine here. Then Lublin, Poland is here. It is about 50 miles from the border with Ukraine. Fars Media posted some photos. I don't know where they got these from. But again, Ron State Media is posting photos of a house that they said was hit on Keshem Island by the U.S. I'll post a link to where the photos I'm posting are. Posting an exit post about it. Give me a moment here. Iran state media Fars claims these are photos of a residential house on Keshem Island that was hit by the U.S. I'll post a link to that post in the chat so you can check it out. I'm posting the link right now in our chat. I'm at Lookner on X. I just posted it. Iran State TV Arab is also showing video of what they say is search and rescue operations at this house. Hang on a moment here. Tony said sirens stopped. Do you mean the sirens reportedly going off in Poland? That I don't know about. Give me a moment here. Shin claims that 6 minutes ago there was a huge blast in Avaz. That I cannot confirm. Oh, hold on. I might have a quote for you. Oh, Wall Street Journal. The strikes tonight tonight's strikes by the U.S. on Iran, a U.S. official told them will be larger in scope than previous tit-for-tat attacks carried out by the U.S. in recent weeks, covering more targets in a broader area, according to a U.S. official. I had not seen this quote before. So again, according to the Wall Street Journal, they say a U.S. official told them that Tonight's strikes by the U.S. Tonight's strikes by the U.S. on Iran will be larger in scope than previous tit-for-tat attacks carried out by the U.S. in recent weeks, covering more targets in a broader area. A U.S. official told them. That's right, these days of war, no retaliation from Iran yet. Stan Benner says, sounds like more government propaganda. Now, OSINT Technical claims that tonight Western Ukraine was heavily targeted for the first time in weeks, with multiple hits reported in the Lviv area. So, I mean, there are these reports claiming that some sirens went off in Poland. But remember, Poland is next to Western Ukraine. There's Lviv right there. Oh, wild berries. Another wild berries. Penza, is this in Russia? Penza, Russia wild berries is reportedly been hit. That's from Exile Nova. I'm going to post a link. They claim that there's a large column of smoke over the Penza, Russia wild berries. There was one hit last night, I think, in Ryazan. Yeah, a different one. Yeah, Penza Wild Berries Hub is on fire. A bunch of photos from Exile Nova Plus. I'm posting them in the chat, posting links in the chat. But apparently another wild berries center has been hit. Wild berries is like the Amazon of Russia. In the last couple weeks, a large number of major logistics centers, I think it's like places where there's either storage or logistics or both, have been hit in different cities in Russia. Iran State TV claims that debris removal operations continue at a house in Keshem that Iran local government says was targeted by a missile. Iran state TV says 2 children were taken to a hospital. Actually, not the Iran, a local Iranian official, the Director General of Crisis Management of the Hormozgan Governorate, said relief operations continue at this house that was hit, they say, on Keshem Island. And the local official said 2 children have been pulled out from under the rubble and transferred to medical centers, and efforts are ongoing to rescue 3 other members of this family. The house was a home to a family of 5 who were inside the building at the time of the incident. I cannot confirm any of that, but that's what Iranian state TV is saying. Fred Flintstone says, like they care about their citizens? Oh, by the way, I just saw this. Hold on. What is this publication? Ah, okay. So, a couple accounts I follow posted something about Poland. And OSINT Technical, and I think AZ Intel. There's a Polish news outlet, WP Wiadomości. They said that at approximately 3:50 a.m., there were warning sirens in Lublin, Poland, announcing an airborne threat. And then a few minutes later, the sirens were canceled. So those sirens in Lublin or Lublin sounded for a few minutes and then they were canceled, according to WP Wiadomości. I still don't know how to pronounce Lublin. Is it Lublin? And they quoted a local official, is it, who said there was a threat of airstrikes. Lublin province. What did we cover? There was also something we covered. Wasn't there like a drone? There was a Russian drone that hit ended up hitting across the border. Was it Romania? A month ago or something? I can't remember. We covered it a couple months ago. Shockingly thinks, yeah. I mean, there's an article from literally, hold on. There's an article from yesterday where ABC News talked about Romania Romania has shot down 3 drones in 3 days as Russia has intensified attacks against Ukraine near the border. And they talk about how during the war, drones have crossed into Romanian territory multiple times. ABC News talks about how drones have crossed into the territories of multiple EU countries, but it's a persistent problem in Romania. So you can see here is Ukraine, there is Romania, shares that border with Ukraine. Our viewer said big news here in Europe, but I can't find the post. I haven't heard in a little while about new strikes in Iran. I wouldn't be surprised if they're over now because it's daylight there. I've seen some pictures online claiming to show smoke, columns of smoke on Keshem Island from strikes there. I can't verify those. Inner Circle says, with all the conflicts currently, it feels like we are in World War III or quickly drifting into it. That's what Inner Circle says. They said it can't be done, says it's Lublin. Gemini says Lublin. Lublin. Thank you. They said it can't be done. Who says Lublin? Wikipedia didn't have a pronunciation. Ooh, I can find one here. Hold on. Lublin. I saw online one pronunciation given was Lublin. Sounds good to me. Strikes, I think, are over. Strikes complete. Strikes complete. Strikes are complete. Here is the update from Iran, from U.S. Central Command. I'll put it on the screen for you right now. U.S. strikes IRGC targets after attempted Iranian attacks. At 10 p.m. Eastern Time on July 29th, U.S. Central Command forces successfully completed a heavy wave of strikes against Iran in response to yesterday's attempted missile attacks on U.S. forces. CENTCOM assets struck dozens of Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps targets in Iran, including military command centers, missile and drone facilities, coastal surveillance and defense sites, and maritime capabilities. These strikes aim to further diminish threats posed by Iran and its proxies to American forces, commercial shipping, and neighboring Gulf countries. On July 28th, Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps forces launched multiple ballistic missiles from Iran in an attempted surprise attack on U.S. forces based in the Middle East. All Iranian missiles were successfully intercepted. More than 50,000 U.S. service members are currently deployed to the Middle East and remain highly vigilant, focused, lethal, and ready. And we have, hey, look, you know what's back is the nightly video with some of the strikes. We haven't seen this in a few nights. Here's tonight's one. U.S. completes new wave of strikes on Iran. Is there volume? Oh, I don't have the volume on. I think maybe at the beginning there's some volume. I don't want it too loud though. It might be crazy loud. Let's see. All right, so that's something in a hole there. I don't know what's in there. That is some kind of vehicle or something. Maybe it's a launcher. Oh, here we go. Okay. Ooh, wow. I don't know what that was. Looks like a truck there. Hold on. I like to stop these. Looks like that was a truck they blew up of some sort. Here, that looks like another vehicle. Look at that one. See that vehicle there? Look. Here's another truck. I can't really see what's there. That's kind of hard to see that one. We got some boats. They hit a particular boat. See, look, that one right there. Then another boat. And then, I don't know, that's something. I don't know what's in there. And then that is, I don't know what that is. Some kind of vehicle, it looks like. Somebody said they hit the second boat is next to the first one? I can't tell. Anyways. So those were some of the strikes. That's not all of the strikes. I assume there's plenty other strikes that they don't show us the video of. I don't know if the videos are representative of what they're hitting or not. Bond 007 thinks the trucks are missile launchers. That I don't know. Look, I cannot, with my limited information, I don't know that there was anything significantly escalatory compared to other waves of strikes. I mean, it sounds like maybe in Avaz there were some more strikes than there usually are. Maybe Keshem, I'm not sure. I just haven't heard anything yet. Iran said a house was hit. I can't confirm that. It's possible that was either not true or true, but an accident, or true and it targeted. Don't know. Shaq Nagy says those boats were not even in the water. Now, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Iran launches retaliation. I'm not aware of anything right now where these strikes would result in Iran like doing some really different type of retaliation. Not aware of any kind of bridges or power plants hit at this point. RSB thinks the last one was radar. Hey, thanks, Shaft, for the memberships. I appreciate that, Shaft. Thank you. Also, Wheat Family. Thank you, Wheat Family. Also, the Christian Fight says, have you heard one or two missiles enter Polish airspace? There's been some rumors about this online. I don't know what happened. It's unclear. Russia is reportedly attacking tonight in western Ukraine, which is next to Poland. So we'll have to wait and see what we hear. Again, I don't have any kind of really good information on that. Thank you so much, the Christian Fight. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I don't have not really great information on it. Maybe we'll get a statement from Poland in the coming hours. Thanks also, Samantha Reynoso. She says, Iran still claims control of Hormuz while the U.S. runs a blockade. Who really holds the stronger hand right now, and does that make a lasting deal more or less likely? Well, I think one problem right now is that the U.S. and Iran want very different things. Iran wants to maintain control of the Strait of Hormuz and be able to charge tolls. The U.S. doesn't want Iran to have any control over the Strait of Hormuz. Those are two very different views. Iran has targeted ships, as recently as a week or two ago in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. doesn't want them doing it ever. So I don't know what the agreement. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of room for agreement on the Strait of Hormuz right now, given what both sides want. But at the same time, we'll have to see. But I haven't seen either side backing off their positions, generally speaking. Not to mention the other issues that would need to get dealt with, like enriched uranium and that kind of thing. Miss M. Garizona says, polar opposite views. Hold on. I think M. Garizona was saying difficult to reach an agreement. By the way, Samantha S. Reynoso, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate that. Remember, the U.S. is not blockading the strait. The U.S. is blockading Iran. As far as the U.S. is concerned, other ships are free to go through the Strait of Hormuz, just not ships going to and from Iran. Tasnim State Media says, U.S. terrorist army announces end of new round of attacks on Iran. Yeah, look, I mean, big picture, I don't have perfect information. Until I hear otherwise, I'm going to assume that this night of strikes does not significantly alter the scope of the conflict and does not significantly affect what Iran's planning or thinking about the conflict. Now, that's not, I don't know everything. So we could hear about all kinds of new stuff that was hit. But For now, I haven't heard anything to suggest it's that much different than a lot of the other nights of strikes. Or different than from what Iran. Obviously, if Iran fires missiles at Jordan, they're going to know that the U.S. is going to launch strikes at some point against them. I would think. Is this really different than what the Iran thought the U.S. might do in such a case? I don't think so. And look, Iran will, if the U.S. hits a bridge or a power plant, Iran state media posts about that stuff right away. And we haven't heard anything to suggest sensitive targets like that, infrastructure targets, were hit. Spirit Chain says so much unconfirmed reports, it takes time, guys. By the way, thanks to Mad Million for your support. Battleborn, I don't know what you're referring about there, Battleborn. Chat timer? Can ask the mods about it. Thank you, Battleborn Supermoto 954. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, remember, President Trump had said earlier today to Fox News, Fox News said that Trump told Fox News, what did Trey Yingst say? Yeah, Trey Yingst from Fox News said after Trump told to Fox News this morning, after this Iranian missile attack on U.S. forces in Jordan, attempted attack, and President Trump said, we're going to beat the effing S out of them, but use the actual words. We're going to beat the effing S out of them. We'll be hitting them hard. Harper Ann says another empty threat. Dormacine says he faked them out. The other thing is, what's going to happen now? Is Iran going to respond to this, and then the U.S. is going to feel like, well, we have to do something? Are we back to the back and forth every night? That I have no idea. We'll have to see. Thanks, Captain Givens, who says, any coincidence that Zelensky was in Lublin today? Is that true? I didn't even know he was. I don't know. I don't know. I see an article. Yes, Zelensky was in Lublin, Poland today. Look, I mean, who knows? Captain Givens thinks What, maybe Russia, to send a message, had a missile fly over Lublin, Poland, or a drone fly over Lublin, Poland today during their attack on Ukraine? I don't know that one did, but if it, I could see that happening, sure. Seems like something they might do. It's an interesting point. Thanks, Captain Givens, our member. Jane Jones thinks this war will never end. Brent crude, it's actually down a bit. I wonder if Brent crude was at 88 at about 9 p.m. and now it's at 87. I wonder if people were like waiting. If the oil market, some people were like, "Oh, President Trump said it's gonna be really strong response," and is this people in oil saying, "Oh, it actually wasn't really that much different from a bunch of the other the nights we attacked them or something?" I don't know. I have no idea why it's gone down a bit, but I do wonder if people saw the attack and just were like, "Oh, well, this is not as escalatory as it could have been." Give me one moment here. Yeah, one of our viewers mentioned, said you're looking at the uh, October futures, not the September. But I don't get how this all works exactly. But at the end of the month, the futures, the particular month that becomes like the widely quoted Brent crude future or the widely quoted WTI future changes over at the end of the month. This is the end. We're now at the end of July. And actually, if you look over here, if I'm doing this right, the one we're looking at, I think, is the October. This is from bar chart right here. This is from barchart.com. And if you look here, there's the September, this is Brent crude, there's September future to October future. And October is the one we were looking at. That's about that price. And look at the volume is the biggest on October. The volume is not that big on September. So again, I think what TradingView just does is they show you the most. I'm not choosing a month to look at. I just go to TradingView and say, give me the relevant Brent crude oil. And I think whatever TradingView reached that time, that it switches over to the next month. But I'm not picking the month. So again, I just go to TradingView and this is what they quote. But I assume this is the most relevant one. These Days of War says there can be large price changes on rollover. Anyways, this is a 5-day chart here. So, but look, we can look at WTI too. My point is, I'm not aware that there's been that big a change the last few days. That's a 5-day chart. In this chart, I mean, this futures is right now how many hours old? It's not like there's a big change in the last. That's right now. It's 22:43, and this was 20. Yeah, that's about 3 hours worth there. Anyways, so I'm not an oil futures expert, but it doesn't seem like the strikes in the last few hours have really moved oil a lot. That's my point. At least to my amateur eye, I'm not aware that the strikes have really moved oil much. Anyways, I don't pretend to be an oil expert. All right, let's see here. One of the viewers thinks oil is going to 150. Oh, by the way, hold on a second when I do this. Here's this futures. Yeah, and just to be clear here, for bar chart as well, barchart.com, right? If I go to select a commodity on bar chart and I go to Brent crude and I click on Brent crude, look what it gives me. It gives me the October, right? Right there, October. So bar chart gives me the October as well, as TradingView does. They both give me the October when I go to Brent crude. I can choose another one if I want to, but that's what it's giving me. Anyways. Are the strikes over? The U.S. strikes are over. I'm guessing that we might have Iran retaliation. I don't know that I want to wait around for Iran retaliation. Honestly, with Iran retaliation, what I would guess might happen is, if they're doing it, is you'll hear sirens are happening in Bahrain, And then we won't know what happens for a while, for hours and hours, if anything, in Bahrain, because you don't really hear much from there. You'll hear sirens in Kuwait and maybe sirens in Jordan. And then you won't, if something gets hit, it can take it can take like till the next day to find out about it. That doesn't mean it will. But that's a lot of the time what happens with the retaliation. It's just hard to tell what's going on while it's happening, you know? So what I might do is take a few final comments. If something huge happens, I can always come back on the air, but I don't know that I'll have much to report in the coming minutes. Steve Carlson says, oil is trading flat now sideways. User thinks Trump's second mandate is an absolute mess. Let's see. Let's get some other comments here. These days of war says, does Iran usually strike at night? I feel like Iran will strike different times. When it fires, it could be the day, it could be the night against other countries. Hilly Girl thinks it's like wash, rinse, repeat. Frank V says, I thought this was all over. What happened? You mean the fighting? I mean, I haven't heard any kind of big positive negotiation update. Skiz LOL says they could bomb Tel Aviv. I mean, I don't see any sign that the U.S. is going after that Iran's going after Israel right now. I mean, that would be a big story. I haven't heard anything to suggest that's going to happen anytime soon. I think the biggest news of the day was, we covered it earlier today, was the drone that hit the U.S.-owned gas tanker in Egypt. Got so little coverage. Ryan thinks U.S. strikes do not move oil market. Iran strikes move oil market. I think sometimes the Iran strikes too. I think it moved the oil market when Iran fired those missiles, but that was, because there had been 4 days of no fighting or whatever, or 5 days, and then all of a sudden there was again. We don't know who, Dockport, we don't know who fired the drone at the ship in Egypt. It's a good question. Thanks, C. Serwin. I appreciate that. And P-Doob. Yeah, again, people keep asking about Poland. Again, to repeat, there's a city in Poland about 50 miles from the border, Lublin. According to local media, for a few minutes, a siren went off there about some kind of air threat, and then the siren stopped. According to OSINT Technical, he said that for the first night tonight in a while, the U.S. is Russia's attacking Western Ukraine, which is on the border with Poland. So it's possible that a missile or drone strayed into Poland, or they thought it might stray into Poland. Whether that's intentional or not, I have no idea. There's no kind of sign that Russia is launching some big attack on Poland. There's Western Ukraine, there's Poland, and there's Lublin. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't have reliable information, but I'm not hearing about any kind of big Russian attack on Poland. I haven't heard of anything exploding in Poland. Maybe we'll find out about something tomorrow. But local media said that for a few minutes, a siren was going off in Poland, in Lublin. So we'll have to see what we hear. I just don't really have much more information on that right now. I'll say this, I follow some different Polish news outlets, and I'm not seeing them say much about it. I'm not seeing like major headlines and urgent headlines right now, so, but we'll have to see what happens. Anyways, I think it might be, I think it's that time. I think it's that time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I can always come back on the air again if there's big update, but I think for right now, I don't have much to tell you. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming minutes or hours you have Iran doing the usual retaliation thing. But maybe they'll do some unusual retaliation thing. I don't know. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys being here for the stream, and we will keep covering more news for you. And one of our viewers said, I bet they respond to Saudi Arabia tonight. You mean because Saudi Arabia and the U.S. attacked Iran-backed forces in Iraq? I was wondering if maybe the Iran-backed forces in Iraq would fire more stuff at Saudi Arabia. That could happen too. That could certainly happen too. And you could have stuff happen with the Houthis too. Well, I'll keep an eye on it. But I will post stuff on my X account when I'm not on the air, at Lookner. You can follow me over there. I'm always posting stuff over there when I'm not on the air. And if there's something that happens and it's big enough, I will come back on and we'll do more coverage. While I can, let me go take a break now. I really appreciate people being here for the stream, appreciate people sending me updates, giving me updates in the chat and helping get the latest news in here, and also for letting me read your comments and questions on the air. And if you want, subscribe, follow the channel Agenda Free TV. Also, I would suggest turning on the notifications for the channel, because I never know when we're coming on the air, generally speaking, but you can get sent a notification before we go live every single time so you don't miss a stream. It's free. The mods will post the link to sign up for the notifications in the chat. You can also find the link, find the notification sign up link in the description of this video on YouTube and Facebook. You can find the notification sign up link there. So sign up for the free notifications. I really appreciate our moderators being here. Incredible. We've been on a lot the last couple of days, a ton, and our moderators are always there. They're the reason that we can have chats. We couldn't without our moderators. They're amazing. Huge thanks. Ruth and Haley Girl over there on YouTube right now have been moderating. Thank you so much. And all of our other YouTube mods. That is awesome. Very much appreciate it. Big Ball of Yarn, Idaho Star, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah, Flux Eternus, and all Idaho and all of our other Twitch moderators. Thank you so much over there. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X, Kay Larry, Body, Andrea Holder, Darren, Charlo, and all of our Paul Anderson, all of our Facebook mods. Huge thanks to you. Thanks to our moderators. And also, a huge thanks to everybody who supported the channel. A lot of very generous support tonight. It's really nice of you. That's what allows the channel to be on the air. And I owe a couple more thanks. Joseph Fiorentino, thank you so much, Joseph. That's so nice of you. And thanks for shouting out our mods. C. Serwin, again, thanks. And P-Doob as well. P-Doob, thank you, P-Doob. And Captain Givens. And also Joe Seals. Oh my gosh. Joe, so generous of you again. Thank you, Joe Seals, Joe from Right Side. Thank you, Joe. That is really nice of you. Thanks to Eli and Ben as well. And but very generous of Joe. Thank you, Joe. Also, Mudmore for subscribing on Twitch. Thank you, Mudmore. Thanks for shouting out our mods. Kendra Fox for subscribing on Twitch. Storm Roadman for subscribing on Twitch. And CC for the support on Twitch. Thanks, CC. Just seeing if I have any other updates for you, but yeah, I don't see much sign this is going to be over anytime soon. What's going on in Iran? I don't know where this is going, but seems to kind of keep going in the same kind of general way. from day to day with some days off. Okay. Hey, another good way to find out when we're live is to follow us on X at Agenda Free TV. I always post there when we go live and give you a heads up. I post there in advance and I give you updates about the channel there at Agenda Free TV on X. The Mole says, as the war machine keeps turning. Uncle Fester says, who knew this war would still be going on when August rolls around? It started on February 28th, guys. It's now July 29th, almost July 30th. Over 5 months. Let's see. Hey, we do have a chat on Discord. It's free, where you can chat with other viewers when we're not live. The Agenda Free TV Discord chat. Check it out. Again, it's free chat. It's the same link as the free notifications link. And huge thanks to our Discord mods who mod the Discord chat. Thank you, Discord mods. Also, for those of you on YouTube, I would suggest turn on the YouTube notifications. Another good way to find out when we're live. To turn on the YouTube notifications, what you need to do is subscribe to the channel and then click the bell and choose all notifications. If you're already subscribed, we'll just click the bell and make sure you click the bell and choose all notifications. If you want to get them on your phone and you're not getting the notifications on your phone, you might have to do what I did and go to your phone and go to the YouTube app and look at the notification settings. You might have to mess with those notification settings too, if you're not getting it on your phone. Let's see. Hey, big thanks to our Facebook subscribers who subscribe and support the channel, like Dolly Clark, Kristen McConnell Gates, Kay Lowry Body, all of our Facebook subscribers, Brian Davio and others over there. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And on Twitch, our subscribers over there, like CC and Susan CHF and Big Dog Gaming and Steve God, Susan CHF, Seed Music. Seed Music says 2 more weeks, maybe 3. Ehawk MPA, Uncle Fester, Hugh J, thanks for subscribing. Wall Street Shaggy, Flux Eternus, Susan CHF, sorry if I'm repeating people. Ma Florida, Brian Harold, Vroom Vroom Cars, thank you for subscribing over there. Tatsiki, Great Cornholio, and all of our other Twitch subscribers. Seed Music, thank you. Our YouTube members too. Glasstron, Eric Johnson, Harper Ann, Paula Faust, I'm Just a Bearcat, Gregory Scherer, JD63, Mike A, Echo Park Mom, Bond 007. Thank you, members. Paula Faust, Patricia Canada, Jesse James, Gregory Scherer, Gary Baines, JD63, Mo 90, Dorm Machine, Lori Durstein, Pear Tree. Thank you. SoCal Mermaid, Barry, I Am Good Goy, Trent F. Drums. Thanks, members. Thanks also Vibe Trading for watching. Spirit Vinick, thanks for watching. Turtle Hands, Jenna79, K Patton 4, Geo Stags, Angelia Hooley, Kajersti, thank you. Gary Baines, Echo Park Mom, Sarah Smile, Nicolette Parker, thanks for watching. Sandy Lucas, Andrea Holder, thanks again for moderating. Sean Thornton, thanks for watching. And All of our other viewers there, 7-6, Boogaloo, Hectate, Random Gaming, Carl Feathers on Twitch. All right, we're wrapping it up for now. Who knows when the next big thing is going to happen? So much going on. But for now, we're wrapping it up. So you've been watching our live coverage of the U.S. response to Iran firing missiles yesterday at Jordan. All right, guys. We are wrapping. Oh, Rita, thanks for being a member there too as well, Rita. Okay, that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.